Twitter has a far-right problem.
Here in the UK, 2 children have been killed in what police called a ferocious stabbing at a dance class in Southport in the northwest of England. 9 more children have been injured. 6 are in a critical condition. 2 adults were also being treated.
On Monday the 29th of July in Southport, a town just north of Liverpool, 11 children aged 6 to 11 were stabbed and 3 tragically died, with 5 others fighting for their lives in hospital. There was uproar. How was this allowed to have happened? These children were attending a Taylor Swift themed dance class. How can an event where you would hear their cheers of happiness turn into cries of fear? You would expect that the first act of decency would be to give the grieving families, as well as the families of the children fighting for their lives, to be given time and space. Well, not according to the bad actors on Elon Musk's social media platform, where hate speech spreads like wildfire. These people sought to exploit people's suffering for their own gain, riding up their followers and instantly shifting the blame to an imaginary Muslim immigrant male. As surely no white person could ever kill children, right?
Stop the fucking boats! Get them out of them hotels! Get them gone! Put them on boats and send them back! Okay? They shouldn't be here! They're endangering the safety of our families. Men will rise up. We're always going to rise up. They have to rise up to defend their families. You've brought this war on our shores.
Soon, protests were planned by these far-right buffoons, and by protests I mean hate marches and riots.
Well, the grief felt throughout Southport was overshadowed by violence and anger on the town's streets tonight. Missiles were thrown at riot officers and a police van was set on fire by a large crowd of protesters believed to be supporters of the English Defence League. At one point, they gathered near the local mosque, throwing stones towards the building.
When pro-Palestine activists were protesting in the streets every week, hate marches were what they were actively called and labelled by various politicians. Cough, cough, Suella Braverman.
They are hate marches.
The far-right's messiah, Tommy Robinson, had already organised a protest for the far-right and British white nationalism on the 27th, albeit being outnumbered by counter-protesters, including people of colour, trade unions and other anti-fascist activists. However, with the news of the girls being attacked, the racist fury from the 27th carried over. But instead of being in London, smaller towns were now being targeted across the UK. Liverpool, Burnley, Blackburn, Manchester and many more, where a lot of Muslims lived, were now being targeted by the extremists visiting from other towns and cities to protest. And of course by protest, I mean riot. Authorities had voiced a need for calm, but rioters don't really listen to authorities, do they? Even when the murderer was revealed to be a 17-year-old Christian black UK national. Unfortunately, due to disinformation, many mosques were targeted, and one in Southport actually had been damaged by the rioters. Until locals who saw the damage decided to step in and fix the mosque, making sure that the area's 5% Muslim population had nothing to fear. Not just satisfied with mosques, rioters began targeting at hotels housing asylum seekers, people who fled their countries who had their asylum application accepted, not illegal immigrants. Reportedly, 2 hotels were attacked, one in Rotherham and a hotel in Tamworth, where rioters attempt to murder the asylum seekers through arson, all whilst being cheered by their overlord Tommy Robinson, who fled the country himself, ironically enough. He fled to Ayia Napa in Cyprus after being arrested and released on bail for filming a film which incited hatred at his protest on the 27th. As a result, his court order was breached and he was arrested, then fleeing after paying bail. Still now he can be seen heralding the protest as fighting to take back our streets. Funnily enough, his exact location has been discovered, leading him to say he's scared for his life. Wonder how those asylum seekers fell at that hotel, Tommy. Other figures have been seen stoking the flames of hatred, as well as liberals hypocritically backtracking on comments they made during their election cycle to win over these sorts of fascists.
In Tamworth, the Holiday Inn has been used for asylum purposes for years, and the simple reality is that residents want their hotel back. Tamworth benefits from local tourism, and as I have said before in this chamber, the Holiday Inn should be for holidays. I therefore welcome today's announcement that the Border Security, Asylum and Immigration Bill includes plans to end asylum hotel use.
Citizens have also made attempts to show that the protest goers aren't the thugs they're shown to be in the media, with many white and blonde women posting videos and pictures of themselves highlighting their fragilities as women? Like women can't be racist or murderers. A white and blonde woman literally attacked a Muslim woman wearing a face covering a couple of days ago, so I don't think this argument is going to stick, love. People like these women believe that these protests are widespread and full of racists enough to spout the most offensive things they can say, hoping that it will fix their dental, medical and unpleasant appearances, whilst the ones that are working blame immigrants for the fact that they are being exploited by their employers and the system as a whole. But alas, these buffoons are too brain dead to think that far ahead. And with Twitter being a toxic and racist cesspool, it's easy for them to find like-minded, or as I say it, hate-minded people and believe that they're right when they receive a couple hearts from other losers in the system. Unfortunately, I think it's always going to be like this, as Elon Musk seems to prefer it this way, with the hate being boosted and filtering being reduced.